It's a nice combination, Irish and Scottish.
All right, I'm not even going to play the disclaimer. How about that? I typically play the disclaimer because it lets people get the notification and everything else. Maybe I should play it. 1 minute.
Go play it.
Yeah, all right.
That's fine.
Okay.
It's fine.
If it's bull or bear,
Bro, your
I
icicles.
don't care.
Bro, your icicles.
It's quite a rough ride, just like life. But I'm kind of patient, 'cause only time will tell. It's gonna go up, so you better stay calm. And grow your coins, grow your coins. You gotta grow your coins.
No, I want to show. I want to walk.
Yeah, but we can wait.
Actually, no. The disclaimer is 1 minute.
Yeah. You gotta grow your coins. 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 You gotta grow your coins.
What's up, ladies and gentlemen? We are live. We are here. We've got some really cold people in Siberia right now. So Brandon OToole, you'll see well, everybody has facial hair, so it's going to be kind of hard. But there's Brandon. He actually won a trip to Siberia. Now, I didn't know that could be considered a prize of any kind.
Well, he also won a trip to the Bahamas. The question is, why did he choose Siberia?
This guy must be really all about his crow mining. So anyway, yeah, community, Brandon, they're out there. They've been waiting for me to play my disclaimer before they walk into the crow mining Elevate Group mining farm. So yeah, and gentlemen, I guess if you'd like, you can walk in and warm up, and then we can start chatting.
Yeah, we're going to do that. And this is my partner, Gabby, here, who people haven't met, but he's the guy who makes it all happen behind the scenes. So he deserves a shout out.
Isn't he, Amir? Is Gabby the money man?
Gabby is more than just the money man. He's the money man. He's the miner man. He's the guy that's making sure these miners arrive and get online. And then we're going to introduce you to Kostya, who's the head engineer. I've got my hand above the phone because the lighting is weird out here.
Yeah, but it does look better.
You'll be able to,
but it's good.
You'll be able to see us better.
Yeah, it's fine.
Soon. All right, so this is the farm right here to my right. So you guys can see this is the entrance to the building.
Make sure you don't show any addresses. We don't need anybody trying to break into that place.
No, don't worry. There's security in 2 different places here, so it's fine.
I see a sniper on the roof. There, okay, that's good.
Oh, not that kind of security. But all right, so we're wow. I think I got frostbite on my hand. All right.
Well, hold on, because
no. Corridor.
Since you went inside, okay, now it looks like you got. It's starting to get real choppy.
Okay, it'll get okay, but if it doesn't, the video will be enough.
Okay.
And then once I'm in the office, we'll be okay. But you won't be able to hear me that well once we go inside, so keep that in mind.
Yeah, I figured there'll be like jet engines and stuff.
So what we're doing now is we're putting on these coverings because
for dog poop,
we want to keep the dust and anything from outside very minimal. Okay.
That's static. You don't want that static building up anywhere. So basically, guys, what we're doing is, for those of you that don't know, I see more people slowly filtering into chat and into the live stream. But morning, Natasha. So we did this thing. So you know when you're talking about mining.
Are you guys ready? We're going in.
Okay, go ahead on in.
All right. So this is the start right here. The first corridor.
Huge building. So basically, they're walking into the Crow Mining Elevate Group mining farm. And Brandon OToole is somebody who won a trip to Siberia. He actually bought some Crow miners, some ASICs, and well, there's a bunch of them right there. Look at that, man. That's a crazy, like, there's so many ASICs miners in there. I've never seen anything like this personally. Like, not live, not for real. I've seen pictures. Craziness. Yeah, this is not cloud mining, folks. This is legit ASICs miners.
It's all the setup.
How many miners? How much electric is being used? That's a good
I'm
question.
going to take you inside the corridor now.
Okay.
It's actually warm inside here because this is where all the fans are spitting out the hot air. And then if you look up, you got fans that are ventilating
Wow.
up on the roof.
It's insane.
And then you get filters on the windowsills. That's to keep any debris from outside ever getting in. And again, fans that are taking out air.
It's basically sucking out the hot air and then pushing in cool air.
Now we're gonna go upstairs into the engineer's room where there won't be so much noise.
Rolex 23, where the hell have you been, sir? Yeah, what's Brandon? Well, they probably can't hear me yet until they get in the office.
He's all coming. Everyone's coming. All right, the sound should be a little bit better now.
Oh yeah, it's not, now you guys can hear you. That's insane.
Okay.
That's literally insane.
Yeah. It's the sound of money. All right, here we go. Now we're
going to change
to be the other way around. Yeah, hold on. Can we change?
Yeah, here.
Where do we change? No.
No, wait. Here.
Yeah.
Here you have.
Okay.
Yeah. So.
Oh yeah, that looks better too.
You want to?
Yeah.
All right, good. So come on. Now we're going to show you.
There we go.
The,
Thank you, Gabby. If you can hear me.
Yeah. No problem.
This is one of our engineers here, Andre.
What's up, Andre?
Make sure everything's running okay.
The monitoring system is okay.
And over here is Kostya. This is the other guy who makes sure everything's running. In fact, he's the guy who's here all the time.
Who's the one responsible for the dashboard? Is that back up? I need to check.
It's back up. It's back up.
It's back
He's
up.
the guy.
Okay. It's you. I'm coming for you, man. Next time it comes out.
We wouldn't have gone live if it wasn't back up, if it wasn't up, because we know you'd be breaking our balls about it.
Dang on, straight. Hey,
right, so
Amir,
we're gonna.
people want to know if there are any of that batch that came in where there were like 120 extra. If there are any of those left.
Yeah, there are. We have about not include. Somebody, one of your guys, actually, his name is Nick. He says he's buying 14, and I promised to hold them for him. So not including those, we have about something like 15 to 20 left.
Okay, because I noticed that there have been quite a few sales coming in recently, and I didn't know how many were available?
Yeah, so let's call it about 15
Okay.
to 20 left that
Okay.
they can buy right now.
So if you're trying to get some ASICs, you better hurry up. How long will it be until the next shipment? Like, I assume from here on, then, because this shipment was one that you guys just kind of funded and ordered knowing they would sell, but from here on, you're talking a couple months wait again, aren't you? Or are you guys working on anything special?
We're working on it. We haven't gotten anything like solidified right now, but we'll have an update in the next week or so.
So where's Brandon? I want to see what he thinks about all this craziness.
Yeah, it's nice to see firsthand the factory and everything working.
So it's all legit. There's no smoke and mirrors. Amir's a real person. Gabby's a real person. The miners are actually in a big, giant, ugly building.
We try to be real persons, real people, yeah.
And it's actually the whole crew. It's all like really good people. They seem really honest and open. And yeah, as you have seen from the footage downstairs, yeah, this stuff is legit. They got a big factory running up, and they're taking good care. Everything is clean and pristine. They take good care, and yeah, I'm impressed. They're doing good stuff.
Are you happy you went all the way to Siberia to see that?
Yeah, it's fantastic. I mean, it's always good to see different parts of the world. So it's actually really interesting, and I feel privileged that they invited me to come in and have a look.
Where are you from originally?
Well, I was born in Amsterdam. My father is Irish American.
He tried to bring some funny cigarettes from Amsterdam.
Some funny cigarettes.
It didn't happen. He was scared of Russia, and I told him he did the right thing. He did the smart thing.
Is weed not legal in Russia?
No, dude, it's not legal.
Oh, I didn't know that.
This is what he brought instead.
What is legal? Yeah.
So we're gonna have a nice drink.
What is
courtesy of Pro Mining?
Hendrix.
Oh, okay. I was hoping for maybe a bottle of what's the stuff that makes you hallucinate? Absinthe.
Oh, moonshine.
Moonshine. That just makes you throw up. I thought absinthe might be fun. No, so
yeah, the green.
So Brandon, basically, you basically, as a customer of Crow Mining, you ultimately won a trip out to Siberia. How long are you going to be out there? Is this like a one-day thing, or are you going on a tour?
No, it's a 2-day thing. So I flew in yesterday afternoon, and
how long was your flight?
Well, I had a 3.5-hour flight from Amsterdam to Moscow. At like a 1.5 hour stopover, and then in 5.5, 6 hours to Irkutsk.
Oh.
So altogether it's just like 10, 11 hours.
Oh my god, that sounds horrible.
Not bad.
If I have to fly more than an hour, I'm like, I'm out. I don't think I can handle it. I have to be, how much Macallan I have to drink for just a flight to Vegas, which is like 4 hours. I couldn't imagine. Even Amir, he's like, come out here, Crow. Come out here, man. We'll get you out of here. It's only like a 12-hour flight from where. I'm like, you're out of your damn mind. Let's give a trip away or something. Let's have somebody else go in my stead. This is better.
Yeah.
So are you guys taking him out after this? You guys gonna show him Siberia? And like, I mean, what is there to do out there? Like ice fish? Like, what do you do in Siberia?
We went for last night. We went for a nice dinner actually for Georgian food, which is like tasty kebab, like a lot of meat, basically meat dishes. He just got in yesterday, so we're gonna take him out for lunch, and then we're gonna take him to Lake Baikal, which, by the way, Lake Baikal is famous because it is the largest lake in the world. It's the largest body of water in the world. It's also, believe it or not, a lot of people go ice fishing, and scuba diving.
I was totally kidding about the ice fishing, but I guess that's what you do there, right?
That's it, exactly. What are you going to do? So
yeah, I'm here checking out.
I wanted to go. I was considering going scuba diving because you go in a dry suit, but then I woke up in the morning and realized, what was I thinking? So I'm not going scuba diving.
I would do scuba diving. I think that'd be a lot of fun, actually.
It would be, but you're never going to come to Siberia because of the flight.
No,
that's not going to happen.
No, I don't even have a passport anyway. So my wife always jokes about getting. My wife booked us a trip to freaking Ireland. I didn't even have a passport, and she's like, "Surprise, we're going to Ireland for your birthday." I'm like, "Surprise? No, we're not.
We're not.
I am not going to Ireland." So yeah, this is actually really cool, Brandon. I'm really cool, or I'm really glad that you've been able to make that trip out there and kind of check everything out and meet everybody. How do the people know you're not a plant? How do we know that you're like legit just somebody who bought a crow miner or however many you got? I know we went through a few people. Like he was like 4th or 5th in the raffle, right? Like
yeah, exactly. if it was a setup, it would have been like he's the winner.
Right.
But
a lot easier.
We went through like 4 people. One who couldn't get his visa, the other one who couldn't get a time off of work, and I don't know. There were like 2-3 other reasons, and then it came to Brandon. And what's your Telegram handle? It's like Piet Patat. Piet Patat. So if you really want to like dig in and do your due diligence, you can maybe you should make a comment now in the Telegram group. Say hi guys from Siberia.
I have no connection.
So he'll make a comment at some point in the Telegram group, and then people can look at the history, the conversation history, because he bought miners before anything was announced, before any trip to Siberia was announced.
Yeah, sure.
So
already back in May.
So he was already a customer before any of this started. But yeah, I mean, if we're live and you've got people that want to ask questions, now is a good time.
Yeah, any of you guys out there that are watching, there's like about 80 of you live right now. I know it's 1 a.m, so it's a little late. But if any of you guys have questions about crow mining, the facility, anything for Amir, now's the time to ask them. Brandon, I'm sure if you got questions for Brandon, you guys are looking very stylish with your slippers, I will say. I'm digging those. My wife was going to try and make people wear those when they walked in our house. I'm like, I don't think it's going to work. I don't know if we can pull that off. Is power DC or AC? I guess the power usage for the facility.
I don't know. I gotta be honest.
I would think it'd be AC, is my guess.
Maybe a question for Costas.
Yeah, well, ask one of the engineers. Or are they just models?
Is power DC or AC? I don't know if do you know
Это не постоянно переменная?
DCAC.
I don't know.
Sorry, what do you mean?
The power that the miners are running from, is it all running from AC or DC power? Alternating current, or I think it's I forget what DC even is.
Direct current and alternating current.
How is that
It's
in Russian? We should translate.
wait a moment.
You guys stumped everybody with that question, you smart asses.
It's
AC.
That's what I thought. I thought I might have known that, but I wasn't 100%.
I'll show you where our power station is. Actually, you can see it from above here. I don't know if I can.
Are those all spare parts I see in case something happens with a part on a miner? You guys just swap it out?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we can't go inside there, but that's 10 megawatts of power right there.
Jesus. Now you said something about as the crow mining grows that you guys are looking to add like 1 or 2 more of those.
Yeah, we can add these. No, it's not a problem. And by the way, Jason, that's our security, okay? And it doesn't look intimidating or anything, but I'm telling you, the security here is serious, okay? But that's all we can show you right now.
Oh, that's great. No, the miners are not S17s anymore. They're the InnoSilicon T350 terahash. All of the people that got S17s, that they were basically, the terahash was combined into these newer models, these higher power models. So it's basically all InnoSilicon T3 50 terahash models, right?
And these are old like power supplies that we keep, you know, just in case. I mean, these are all part of the farm, you know, recycled old machines, whatever hash boards that have gone bad that we just hold on to. And basically, this is where the engineers sit and monitor everything. And keep in mind, there's always an engineer here, basically 24/7. And we have security, like a live security guard. So, yeah. So what's the next question?
Let's see. How much Bitcoin do you get a month? That's a relative question based on, you know, hashing power, based on difficulty at the time. It fluctuates. You know, we've had so many questions because everybody, of course, I mean, when you're talking about mining and investing in ASICs miners, people want to know, if I put in X number of dollars to buy X number of miners, how much do I get back? And it's an impossible question to truly answer definitively because it does change daily. I mean, honestly, it almost changes hourly. So
it's a question that I still want to address, though, because I get it all the time. Especially more recently, I've gotten it from a few people who wanted to make larger investments. And, you know, people do their calculations, you know, in a static way. In other words, they go onto an online.
We got a freeze frame. We'll wait. There's probably just a delay. That answered my question. There will be more offered as it grows. Cool. You could build a quantum computer in that environment. Probably. Yes, that's it, Jeremy Fox. Thank you. How long does it take to pay for itself? How long does it take to pay itself off at this Bitcoin price? I think it's like 8 months right now. But I think realistically, though, the question is do we expect Bitcoin to stay at $800 or you know, $8,000 for the next, you know, 6 months, 8 months, however long? I don't think it will, but you know, you never know. They'll probably reconnect to Zoom. I guess they got disconnected. And there's a picture of that. I don't know who that handsome fella is. I think that's Aquaman doing a promo. I don't know who that is. Props to the engineers, the unsung heroes of crow mining. Absolutely. And so are you, Mr. Ryan. All of our admins that help us out in the Telegram community. It's just like insanely helpful. Every time I go in there, it's like all of the admins are in there constantly answering questions. Of course, all they really should have to do at this point is copy paste from like 10 minutes ago because so many people asked the same questions. But yeah, 4K by the end of the day, I doubt that. One miner is the minimum. So it used to be a 2, but because the miners have grown a little more pricey and a little more powerful, some people are just grabbing one ASIC miner. I will say that, you know, don't tell our copy and paste secret. I will say that when all is said and done, I think a lot of people I'm finding are what is that? I don't even know why that is. Something I was trying to like. My earbuds are falling out. Hold on, I'm trying to find my dashboard. Guess maybe it's not. I don't have it on here. Hold on. Hold up. Wait a minute. I don't know what the heck that is or why. I don't even have that. You don't rent. This is not cloud mining. So for those of you guys out there, and you're like, hey, you know, how much is it to rent space or rent it's not like that. You buy your miner, you own your miner. It is being stored at the co-location facility, and that's that. And then the mining yield goes into a wallet, and then you can basically send that to your Bitcoin wallet. And I think right now it's being structured to do that every week. Ding dong, there's Gabby.
Okay, there.
Yeah, you're back.
Okay, sorry about that. It was my data limit on my phone. So I do want to address the profitability question, because I get it a lot. Like, if you remember when we started sales, like the mining on a miner was, I mean, the profit on a miner was like $350. And that was, you know, I don't know, 2.5 months ago, 3 months ago, maybe. Now BTC prices come down. And so obviously mining profits have gone down significantly since then. And, you know, the thing that I tell people is don't look at a static number, because the variables involved in your profitability are always changing, and they're not static. You can't, you know, predict out 6 months or 12 months. But like, look at where BTC price is right now, for example, and then make your own decision as to what you think BTC price is going to do. If you're looking at today's profitability, and you put on a miner, you buy a miner, and you're doing it with the belief or the assumption that BTC price is going to go up, that means your ROI is going to increase. And especially, one thing to think about is, because mining difficulty changes every 2 weeks, in an uptrending market, that is a big benefit for miners, because what ends up happening is, let's say price goes from 8,200 to 8,700 tomorrow. Well, for the next 2 weeks, you're going to be mining at the same difficulty level, but with much higher profits. So this is something like we went through this in the first cycle when BTC was 3,500, and people were buying miners at 3,500, and the ROI was horrible if they were, you know, looking at the static ROI at that time. It was really, really bad. Fast forward 6 months later, they had made back almost all their ROI, because they were buying miners in a bear market. So that was one thing. And then when the market turned, their miners were already online mining. So, you know, I mean, like Jihan Wu, the owner of Bitmain, came out the other day and said, you know, it's good to be mining in a bear market. And what he meant by that is, it's not today's profitability in a bear market that makes it good. What happens is, if you're mining in the bear market and the market starts to turn, that is a sweet spot for miners, because that's when they get, you know, enlarged ROIs. So, you know, mining is volatile, just like anything else, just like any other investment. And I would encourage people to consider more what their future what the projection of future value of Bitcoin is, and then base your decision somewhat on that, because doing it in a static way is just not good. I just had a conversation with, like I said, one of your guys' name is Nick, good guy, and I could tell that he is totally into running numbers, and he was doing that. But I was trying to explain to him, you can't look at it in a static perspective.
Yeah.
So,
and to that, it's kind of one of those things that I'm learning. You know, you can mine up half a Bitcoin when it's 8,000, but then when it shoots up to 14,000, you know, it's retroactive. So the Bitcoin you've already mined up is going to be worth more. And so to me, I don't care if Bitcoin, if I only thought Bitcoin was even going to be worth 20,000, you know, like it was just going to cap out at 20 grand and that would be as high as it went, I probably wouldn't even care about mining so much, because it's kind of like, you know, yeah, profitable, but compared to, the power cost and the cost associated with mining and difficulty and all this other bullshit, it's like, to me, it might not necessarily be worth it. Even though technically you'd probably double your investment, in a pretty relatively short period of time. I care about accumulating over the next, 2 years, 3 years to where I think Bitcoin will be. That's what I care about. So that's just me personally.
Not that. I would flat out say to people that if you're not going to hold your Bitcoin that you mine, then don't even mine. Like, don't do it.
You'd be better off just buying the Bitcoin.
One of the biggest advantages, or not advantages, but I don't know, benefits, whatever you want to call it, is if you're mining and you're doing this because you can afford to hold on to your Bitcoin. That's one of the reasons why you should, because you get the full upside on top of the income. You get to benefit from any increase in prices. Otherwise, if you're just mining and you're going to sell the Bitcoin that you're generating, yes, you're making an ROI on your investment, but you forego all the increase that you could be getting if you had held on to the BTC that you earned, that you mined. So don't invest in 20 miners if you're going to have to use that money every month for expenses or for living or for whatever it is. It's better to invest in 5 miners, but know that all that Bitcoin you can save. And of course, we're not investment advisors, and everybody should do their own due diligence, but that's what our perspective is. That's what we do. We also mine ourselves, and the whole point for our own mining is to save the Bitcoin and hodl.
Right. Yeah, some people are asking, how long do the mining rigs typically last? It's roughly 3 years on average, right?
Yeah.
Thereabouts.
Yeah.
So let's see. Hold it. I lost my putty. Here we go. Could be more. Okay, so man, these guys are admins in Telegram. They don't stop. They're in chat answering questions too. So they're just like machines. Amir is 100% right. Yeah, I mean it's a lot of questions that we typically see in Telegram, and so the admins are actually in chat. We didn't even ask them to be in there, but they're just like, yeah, 1 a.m. doing a video about crow mining. Sure, I'll hop in. How much to mine 1 Bitcoin? Well, I showed my thing. So like this is my dashboard. I've got 18 miners running. So I've got 18 miners running, and I'm basically mining 0.51, so a tiny bit more than half a Bitcoin in a month right now. So if I wanted to mine 1 Bitcoin a month, I would basically, at the current difficulty and everything else, it looks like I would basically need like 36 miners. 36 miners to mine a Bitcoin a month, which is that's a big price. That's a very pricey kind of but some of these guys, man, some of you guys that are probably in chat have gotten 36 and more. Didn't one guy get like 70? I don't remember.
Yeah.
But, okay. This is a perfect example. So as we're live, you can see based off of the hash rate and the difficulty of Bitcoin at the moment, it changes. So it just went from 0.51 Bitcoin to 0.50. But this will change. This is going to change constantly. I've seen this go up and down so many times, I don't even think anything of it anymore. But roughly 36 miners at basically where things are right now, 36 miners would basically mine up a Bitcoin. So yeah, if you guys aren't in the Telegram group, if you happen by and you're like, hey, what is this crow mining business about? What is this Siberia stuff? What is co-located Bitcoin mining? How does it all work? All of that fun stuff. Obviously, you go to crowmining.com. We just launched the new website, and then join the Telegram group, man. Because whether it's me or Amir, typically it's the admins are volunteers. We don't even pay these guys. Like, these guys are involved and they're helping answer questions because of the community. And we're very, very grateful for them because these guys are pretty much around the clock. I mean, it's like they've taken different
So
shifts.
we should take a minute to thank them. You know, Adam, Jeremy. I know I'm gonna forget a couple people, and I apologize. Brian, or Ryan, excuse me. There's like everybody really is helpful, and I really want to thank them for that. And if you're new and you're want to ask more questions, definitely get into the Telegram group.
And they're not like just spokespeople for Hair Club for Men; they're also a client.
Right, exactly. And yeah, like we have, like I said, about 20 more. You can go online, you can make the purchase, you get email confirmations right after you make the purchase, and those miners will be online within, let's say, 48 to 72 hours after you make the purchase. And yeah, I mean,
so real quick, and I know we've explained this before, but I'm actually surprised we have almost 100 people in chat right now at 1:30 in the morning, my time, which is pretty cool. But so the price of the current units now, every time we get new people come into Telegram, every time there's an influx of people say, oh, what's the price of the crow mining ASICs? Oh, 30 whatever 100. Oh, okay. And then they go out and they try to find the Insilicon T3 50 terahash unit, and then they try to dig them up online, and then they start posting links in Telegram like they discovered something none of the 300 something people in there haven't already looked at, seen. So like hopefully to like educate these people a little bit now before they waste their time.
So yeah, and I there's a pinned post in the Telegram where I wrote, I responded to that, and the guy who wrote the question got it, totally understood it. His name is Pope. His handle is Pope. But go to the pinned comment, and you'll be able to get a detailed explanation. But I will also give you an answer to that right now. The hardware market is just like any other market, right? The manufacturers understand that they're essentially manufacturing money printing machines. Okay, so there's this pre-sale concept that manufacturers like to advertise, and what happens is they pre-sell with a delivery date of 6 to 8 weeks out. Now, why? By the way, before I say this, why am I even starting with this story? Because we've experienced it. You've experienced it in the delays that we've had. And the way they work is they take your capital, they pre-sell you, and then they have delays. And all of a sudden, your 8-week delivery date just got extended to 3 months. Now, if you think that the posted price is what you're going to actually end up paying, it's not, because right now the demand for the miners is extremely high. People are upbidding the price of the miner. So imagine you're a manufacturer.
Trying to pre-order a miner right now is almost like putting in a bid. I tried to do it a long time ago myself, and they flat out tell you, like, you may not get this order. Like, we'll let you know.
Yeah, and then you got to think about another thing. Okay, pre-order a miner and get it delivered in 3 months, which is realistic for what's going on in this market right now. Now consider if your miner is delivered in 3 months and you missed out on those 3 months of mining, as opposed to having a miner online in 3 days, okay, and you're mining for that period, that is going to increase your ROI essentially. There's lots of different reasons that go into the advantage of being able to mine right away, okay, which is one of the reasons why we've taken our own capital and plowed it back into inventory, so that people can have the peace of mind of knowing, like, okay, cool, if I buy it right now, I go online right away. And it's not like we have an endless supply of capital and we can always do that.
Isn't Gabby a billionaire?
We just, he's not a billionaire.
I'm kidding.
He's
I'm
not a
kidding.
billionaire. Maybe in 5 years from now.
Yeah, maybe once
right,
all this is
he
done,
is
yeah.
up to a few 100,000, okay, maybe then. But the point being is, like, we're trying to make it as advantageous for our customers, because think about it, our idea is we want to scale, we want to grow. We know that customers come in and they buy 2 or 3 miners, and then after they see everything working and they know it's legit, that's when they come in and buy 10, 15, 20 miners. We know that. We've gone through that with, customers over the course of the last 2 years since we've started. So we're putting an offer out there that we know is good.
And real quick, I want to stop you real quick, Amir, because I want people to understand this. You guys launched Elevate Group when?
It's been a little over 2 years now.
A little over 2 years. My point to this is, you didn't just start this with me and Crow mining. This isn't like, you guys didn't just decide, hey, we're going to call Crow and see if he wants to get involved with this new idea we've got. You've been in business for 2 years prior to me ever coming along. It's like, yeah. So I just want to make sure that people understand, like, this isn't a brand new business that you guys are a flash in the pan. You guys started a couple years ago. We're just helping to grow this thing together.
Yeah. And not only that, I would also say that we were profitable during the bear market. We were profitable when BTC was still at 3,500. And I would remind people that was a period where Genesis Mining, right, the cloud miner, was canceling contracts of people for unprofitability, And during that period, even though it was, a tough market because profits went down, we were still profitable during that whole period. And obviously, as we came out of that bear market, everybody was super happy because, wow, our mining profits just multiplied by 300-400%. And that's a real number. I mean, we had increases of more than 300-400% in our in return because of the when the bull market started. So, that's why I tell people, never look at returns in a static way.
Yeah, and I totally get it. And I'm like really happy with how things have been going. I mean, you've got that one the 10 megawatt power thing out there. How many ASICs miners will that power?
About 6,500.
Oh wow! So we've got a long way to go before we filled that puppy up.
Yeah, we've got room to grow. And it's not just that 10 megawatts. We have another building that we that's empty right now. That's going to be for the kind of second phase of growth. But yeah, we can scale right now with what we have, and we're fine.
To me, it seems, honestly, to be very realistic about it. Right now, it feels like our biggest hurdle is just getting the inventory, is to get the miners that people need. I feel like we could have as many sold as we honestly wanted if we had an abundance of supply available right now.
Yeah, it's
but
right
Bitmain
now,
and InnoSilicon, these guys kind of like it that way, right? Because that's kind of how they control the market a bit.
Well, they can't build that. They can't manufacture them fast enough because they have constraints with the chip suppliers, right? So they've got their issues, and they can't manufacture them. It's not like they're manufacturing them and then they're saying, oh, you're going to have to wait 3 months. They literally can't make them fast enough to supply what the demand is from everyone. So you're absolutely right. That's our 2 biggest challenges, is getting supply, which, okay, we get it. I mean, we might not get 1,000, but we still can source our supply. And the other thing is getting the word out, because how did Genesis Mining grow? They had the capital to do a ton of advertising, to put a ton of money into advertising, but they have to figure out a way to make that money back. And the way they did it is through really high maintenance fees or really high cost per terahash. So our growth model was to come to guys like you, Jason, and to say, look, we've built out this business. This is what the platform is. You know, you have a great subscriber base. Let's team up. So that way we're able to scale without, you know, having an increased cost of upfront capital for marketing. Because if we did that, we'd end up having to charge a lot more, and that wouldn't work. So those are the two areas where we're going to focus on right now, is being able to get miners for people, to get them online as quickly as possible, and to have good relationships.
Good. Yeah, so, you know, 2 years isn't that old of a company, Crow. And you're absolutely right. 2 years isn't old of a company, but it's still older than the majority of crypto companies that are out there. So, I mean, you know, the point is that this didn't just start with me, and that this isn't some brand new thing.
Yeah, 2 years is not that long, but also you got to put it relative to, you know, what industry we're in, and relative to the subsector. If you look at mining right now, most of the mining farms out there are private. They don't accept investors. They don't want investors, because they've gone out and gotten their own investors, and they're running the farm for themselves, and they don't need anybody, and they don't want anybody. Our whole thing was, let's create a mining platform where people actually own their own miners, and we gave them the same commercial advantages that private mining farms had. That was the whole platform behind Elevate Group, and that's what we're doing.
Somebody asked a question, will you guys ever accept deliveries of miners? I'm assuming they mean, like, if they owned a bunch of ASICs and they wanted to ship them out to the farm and just pay the power and management fee.
Yeah, so the only time we do that, and I'll give you the short answer and then the long answer. The only time we do that is if you're running a farm already and you've got 300 or 400 miners, then we'll look at it. But we won't do that for everyone.
It'd be too laborious, I would think.
No, well, look, the reason is this. The part of the advantage of working with us is that you can take advantage of our engineering staff that's going to make sure your miner is running the whole time, and the power cost that you can't get anywhere else, really. I mean, Europe right now, you're looking at 10, 12 cents per kilowatt hour.
Same in the US.
Okay, in Holland, it's 20 cents.
Holy cow.
You know,
that's higher than I've heard.
People want to do that, and it's like, no, we're not going to open our doors to that. First of all, in full transparency, which we always are, we do make some money on the sale of the miner. That's what part of goes into our costs and operation. We have no problem, you know, letting people know that. They do know that already. So people sometimes want to kind of get access to the farm, but okay, yeah, let's be fair about it. If you want to, you know, you want access to a commercial mining farm, you know, these are people who want to buy 4 or 5 and run them at home. You can't do that.
Yeah.
So unless you're running a lot of miners, you know, no.
Will you accept 100 Bitmain S9s?
Probably not, because the S9 is now it's on its way out. I mean, the S9 is on its way out. That's the bottom line.
How old are the S9s now?
Over 5 years now. I mean, 4 or 5 years.
So people are still mining with S9s. That's interesting.
Yeah,
5 years later.
That's actually a good point, because a lot of people who are asking how long does a miner last.
We say 3 years on average just to play it safe, but there's no telling. They could last as long as they last. Could be, yeah.
That's right. You can still run an S9 right now profitably, and we do have them, and we have a lot of customers that have them. But we're not gonna allocate more power to an S9, because we want to leave room for all the new miners that are coming in.
Yeah, because it's kind of power efficiency, right? Like, I don't know how much power one S9 runs, but if it runs even close to one of these 50 terahash T3s, it'd be kind of like, what's the point?
It's half as efficient. The new T3s are twice the efficiency. So not only is it that it's sucking a lot of power, it's like, yeah, we don't want to allocate our power to that. We want to allocate our power to rigs that are going to be more efficient, like the T3s.
Yeah, I get it. Yeah, that's cool, Invisible Friend. I mean, I more power to you, brother. If you're mining with an S9 and it's profitable for you, amen. I mean, the way I see it is, even if if the power, it might take you, even if it takes you a year, I don't know what an S9 or 100 S9s can accumulate in Bitcoin over the course of 6 months, but, you know, to me, I don't even think so much about profitability of Bitcoin today. I really don't. I think about it like a year or 2 years from now. That's what I'm aiming for. So
yeah, but with right now with an S9, by the time you count the cost to ship 100 of them over and all of that stuff, I mean, it's like you're taking a big risk. I don't think the S9 is going to have more than a few more months of profitability.
All right, so last question, and I'll let you guys go, and that way Brandon can enjoy his trip, and you guys can have some fun in private without cameras. How long do you think it'll be? You say we've got like maybe 15 of the you buy it today, you're mining tomorrow batch. There's only like 15 left or so, maybe 20 out of the 120.
20, yeah.
Do you have
15,
any idea
20.
whatsoever on what to expect from the next batch or the next, you know?
I would say in about 4 weeks or so, we'll have some more coming in.
Coming in meaning in 4 weeks you could take more orders, or 4 weeks there'll be some hitting the farm.
4 weeks hitting the farm.
Okay. All right. Mr. Brandon OToole, thank you, sir. He's been waiting patiently back there with his beautiful slippers on, just waiting to go out and do something exciting in Siberia. Look, I'm pumped, and I'm real happy. I'm like happy for Brandon that he got to be able to go out there and check out the facility. For those of you that are late, I mean, the numbers just keep going up. You'll probably have to go back and watch it from the beginning, and you'll see the tour of the facility and all of that. But yeah, man, what time is it over there? It's like 1 PM for you, isn't it?
Yeah, it's about 2:30 now.
Yeah, it's crazy. It's 1:30 AM my time, and I'm getting hungry again. Like, it's too late to eat. All right.
All right, guys.
See you in Telegram. Thanks, Gabby, for being the cameraman.
Yeah, like let's have Gabby there say goodbye. All right. See you guys.
All right. Have a good night.
Yeah.
All right, folks. There you have it. Crowmining.com. I'll take a quick look, see if there are any questions before I sign out. I figure, hell, it's 1:36 AM. If there's anything to this guy trying to be a hustler, let me find out. Who's being a hustler? I guess I could take my earplugs out now. You're welcome, Dominic. You're welcome. Let me take a quick look at Bitcoins, just because we're here. All right. Interesting. It's so like this activity that's going on is just, I don't even really pay that much attention to the price of Bitcoin right now. I look at it because I'm always curious, but Charles AMA, I was watching his AMA because he likes to do them himself. You know, he'll go online. I was actually watching his latest one tonight. He's a funny dude. I don't know what to say other than I'm just kind of waiting. You know, I know a bunch of people are getting involved with the test net and all that, and I would love to. I just don't have the time to try and explore that at the moment. I really don't. But you know, I'm happy to have Charles on anytime he wants to come on. I would love for him to come on my channel and make an exclusive announcement. That would be wild. Yeah, I'm just getting ready for Chainwise, guys. I showed on my Twitter, I showed the first billboard that I had that went up on I-75 here in Cincinnati. And it's just going to keep ramping up. I mean, between now and the date of Chainwise, which is November 8th and 9th, go to chainwise.us, get your tickets if you haven't already. Block Party, I got a blockchain ticketing solution. Actually, I didn't even get it. Somebody else did, helping out, and I'm very appreciative of that. And Crow, I'd love, and then it got deleted. I don't know what that said because it was deleted. He'd love something. What up, Drone Trucker? It's great, but one hell of an investment. Yeah, I mean, Bitcoin mining, and look, again, just like anything else, it's risky. I mean, even though you're buying, even though you're buying hardware, it's still risky. So, you know, I mean, it's pricey. I mean, the mining rigs are not cheap. And, you know, if Bitcoin were to go down to $1,000 tomorrow, well, we're all screwed. So I don't think that's going to happen, but there's a risk in just about anything associated with cryptocurrency, especially still. You know, it's all still in its infancy. And so everything that we do in this space has, with its great risk and potentially great reward if all goes in our favor. And so we're hoping for the latter with everything we're trying to do. It's $20 to go to Chainwise a day. Yes, it's $20 a day. And then flight and hotel. Hotel's $89. Flight, I think you can get a red eye round trip for $100. So the whole trip to go to Chainwise might run you like $300 or so. Not too shabby, considering that's still less than the price of a day ticket to the majority of the other conventions going on out there. You should offer a crypto prize for the person who drives the furthest and flies the furthest to Chainwise. That'd be interesting. Will you run a Cardano staking pool? Yeah, maybe someday. At some point, I wouldn't mind doing that. Notice how after you posted Stock and Flow, everyone is now talking about it. Data Dash just did too. I'm not going to take too much credit for that. I didn't discover Stock and Flow. As a matter of fact, I'm trying to remember where I first saw. It might have been Data Dash, honestly, that I discovered the Stock to Flow chart myself. So I appreciate you crediting me, but I don't deserve the credit on that. I mean, I still watch other YouTubers, and I watch other YouTubers because I found that it's a good way to learn about different tools. The Stock to Flow chart being one of them. I don't necessarily have to agree with a lot of the YouTubers that I watch to kind of see like what new apps or websites or, you know, metrics tools or whatever. So yeah, I didn't. It's not like I discovered the Stock to Flow and then everybody's copying me. Just found it interesting as to the timing of the various videos. Yeah. Now, granted, Stock to Flow is definitely becoming more of a conversation, and I think it's because of guys like Data Dash and maybe myself. I don't know, but I think it's definitely becoming more of a conversation because I think prior to, I don't know, honestly, I would say maybe a couple of weeks ago, I don't think many people were talking about Stock to Flow. I have been talking about it, I think, before many, and now people are starting to catch on and realize, oh, this is a thing. And so, but I don't remember 100% where I discovered it, but yeah, it's definitely something growing, and which is good because I think the more metrics that we have for understanding Bitcoin's growth and where it's going, where it's been, and so forth, the better for all of us. So, all right, guys, we are 57 minutes in, and we've got a new crow that has been born. So welcome, and a few people are talking about it now. Yeah. All right, guys, so I'm going to call it a night. It's almost 2 a.m., 20 till. I appreciate you guys joining me so late in the evening for the crow mining video. Hopefully everybody enjoyed it. Hopefully Brandon's having a great time. Glad you got to get out there. What a long trip. I definitely don't ever plan on making that myself personally, but until tomorrow, I'll see you guys later. Have a good evening and crow your coins. I'll see you again soon.